When the world was first created, the land was plentiful and spacious. There lived only a handful of people across the land. Of those were two brothers named Lilu and Tumi. Along with their sister and parents, they lived in a remote jungle. One day, while out on their daily chores, Lilu and Tumi came across a giant log that was perfect for firewood. Hoisting the log up over their backs, they decided to carry the giant log home. Lilu and Tumi were unaware that the log they were carrying was actually the dragon god. The night before, the dragon god had attended a marvelous feast hosted by the lightning god. Having a few too many drinks, the dragon god flew down to return home. But before the dragon god could make it home, he decided that he was too intoxicated, and so he turned himself into a log to sleep undisturbed. However, while deep in slumber, disguised as a log, the two brothers carried him off. When the two brothers returned home, they threw the log down onto the ground. Startled, the dragon god immediately woke from his slumber. When the log transformed into the dragon god before Lilu and Tumi's eyes, they were frightened and apologetic. "Please forgive us. We did not mean to disturb you, dragon god." The dragon god replied graciously, "Do not worry. Just escort me back to my home by the lake, and I will grant you your deepest desire." So, Lilu and Tumi made their way back to the lake with the dragon god as a log on their back. When they arrived, the dragon god requested that they carry him into the water. As they began to travel in the water began to splash and large waves formed. Frightened, Tumi let go of the dragon god, leaving Lilu to be swept under the waves. Tumi looked at the lake as the raging waves came to a halt, with no Lilu or dragon god in sight. Devastated, he ran home to explain the situation to his sister, Nzar. After consulting with her, she knew that Shou would have the answer. When they arrived, Shou explained that there was no need to worry, because the dragon god had actually brought Lilu to marry his daughter in the dragon god's homeland. Although Lilu and Nzar were happy for their brother, they wanted to bring him home. So, Shou instructed them that in order to retrieve Lilu and his bride, they had to enlist the help of Li Gong, who lived far to the north, and Li Gao, who lived far to the south. Only the two of them could conclude the wedding and retrieve Lilu and his bride. Tumi and Nzar, although exhausted from their travels, they were determined to bring their brother back, and so they traveled north for Li Gong and they traveled south for Li Gao. Having enlisted the help of Li Gong and Li Gao, they returned to the lake. Li Gong and Li Gao worked together to enter the dragon god's realm and to conclude Lilu's wedding. While Tumi and Nzar anxiously awaited for their brother's return, suddenly the water moved from gentle ripples into large waves, and from below the water, Lilu arose with his new bride. Tumi and Nzar were relieved and happy to see their brother alive and happy. Overall, this folklore gives meaning to Hmong wedding traditions. We find the story's impact in the names and vocabulary used in weddings, such as Meigongs or the wedding negotiators. They had their title named after the first two ever Meigong, Li Gong and Li Gao. Not only that, traditional wedding songs are called jachong, literally meaning dragon waves, tying practices back to when Lilu was taken into the dragon realm. Lastly, in Hmong wedding vocabulary, we always say Lilu zo gachong, to me zo gekao, meaning the way of wedding rites by Lilu and to me, tying back to the first ever Hmong wedding.